rub that in the sauce.
Bây giờ mời các bạn theo chân anh mặc quen để khám phá ẩm thực của Thụy Điển nhé.
We're all packed up and we are checking out. We're gonna walk over to the metro, take the metro to Termini station. Then we're gonna take the bus to the airport. And today we are flying to Stockholm, Sweden.
Hiện bây giờ hình như là ảnh đang ở bên Ý á. Ảnh sẽ đi ra ngoài phi trường để anh bay qua bên Thụy Điển.
Of what Rome and of course what Italy has to offer, but it has definitely whet my appetite, and I am really hoping to come back to Italy in the future to travel to many of the other regions in Italy for the food. But that was a really good short trip. That just took about 15 minutes. We have arrived to Roma Termini station, and the buses, actually they're exactly where we got off the bus when we came from the airport. It's kind of on the side of Termini station.
6:30, 7:30 sta all'aeroporto. Allora, vieni 20 minuti prima.
You just kind of choose the bus that leaves the quickest, and so we got on a bus, put our bag downstairs, you buy the ticket right before you get on the bus. It costs €4, and our bus leaves in about 15 minutes to the airport. We got checked into our flight, but it was complete chaos. We're flying with SAS, but they have been kind of completely unhelpful, not really helpful at all. She put a tag on our bag, but then said to bring it to the elevator, and then just continued talking and didn't tell us any information. Finally, after standing in a wrong line a number of times, we finally got our bag to the elevator. And I don't know where our bag went, and now we are trying to get through immigration, but it's just out of control.
Hình như là ảnh mất cái túi đồ hay gì rồi.
This is just extremely hectic. Basically everything that can go wrong is going wrong, and so we got to our gate, and now they've changed our gate somewhere like kind of far away, so we're going to our gate now. This is such a disorganized airport, and everyone's like just running around like they don't know what they're doing, including us.
Welcome aboard. When you're on your seat.
This is going to be about a 3-hour flight from Rome to Stockholm. We sat in the plane for about an hour before we took off. I guess the airport was really backed up with planes, but we are now in the air and it is time for lunch. This is quite the fusion little lunchbox. Sesame chicken with apple kimchi, black rice, and ginger.
Máy bay ăn ở trên máy bay.
That's a taste of Scandinavia inspired by the world. Break open my utensils. I'll begin with this chicken.
Cái này nó cho ăn nhẹ thôi.
Oh, it's pretty cold. I'm not sure what this is. It's like, oh, I think that's the cream. And then a lot of salad down here. Oh, and that's mixed with rice.
Đây nó đi gần nên nó chỉ cho ăn nhẹ thôi. Chứ không phải là ăn cái kiểu mà đi cả ngày.
But it kind of tastes like cream cheese. It's like a whipped cream cheese is what it tastes like to me. And then I'm not sure, I guess that's all salad. Salad mixed with rice, maybe cabbage. It is actually quite refreshing. It does taste kind of good. But I am also really hungry.
Bà xã ảnh ngồi sát bên đó.
That is oddly quite refreshing.
Ăn cho vui thôi chứ cái này có ngon lành gì đâu.
With the exception of being awake for a few minutes to eat that small lunch, I basically just dozed off and slept the entire flight. Welcome to Sweden. This is my very first time to be here.
Ảnh đi xuống đất rồi đó.
We have
Bây
decided
giờ
to take
ảnh
the
xuống
bus,
cái
which
thành
will take
phố
us very close to
Stockholm
where the hotel
của Thụy Điển á.
is. But there is also a train option and lots of bus options to get from the airport to Stockholm Center.
Bây giờ anh lên chiếc xe bus này để anh đi vô trong thành phố.
Love your videos, man.
Oh, thank you, man. What's up? Alex, hi, nice to meet you. Hi.
Right as you exit from the terminal, there are a bunch of buses, and they all go to different parts of the city. We're going to
Mà đi cái xe bus mà mất $13 không ơi.
which is, I think it's pretty close to the center, but this bus will go directly there.
Đây là ở trong thành phố Stockholm rồi đó
That
nha.
bus ride took just about 30 minutes, and we are at a bus stop called Fridhemsplan. I think I was pronouncing that wrong earlier. Fridhemsplan. I think that's how you say it. And our hotel, we are staying at the Courtyard Marriott in Stockholm. It should be about a 5-minute walk from here if I can figure out how to
Anh
get
đi
there.
tới cái bến xe rồi đó. Bây giờ anh đi lại cái khách sạn
I think
ảnh
we need to just keep
là
on going
Marriott.
straight. Stockholm is a really
Đi chừng
nice
5
city.
phút
It's
rồi
so
tới à.
clean, and also it looks so well functioning, and also it's so green as well.
Yes, definitely.
I love you.
Nice to meet you.
Stop here.
Yes, sure.
I watch you all day.
Thank you.
Shout out to Danny.
Anh đi
Nice
qua
to
đó
meet
mà
you.
có người nó
And
nhìn
we're
ra
almost
mặt
to
ảnh
our
á.
hotel now.
Tại vì nó coi mấy cái clip đi du lịch ăn của ảnh á.
Everything in Sweden is so
Nó thấy mặt nó
spacious.
nhớ cái nó đứng là nó chào.
There's so
Vui
much
chứ.
space, no?
An awesome start already to our time in Stockholm. We checked into the hotel. Dominica was very nice, and we got all these welcome snacks. They gave us all these welcome snacks. This is a bag of potato chips, and Ying and I are so hungry we haven't really eaten much today. Oh yeah, those are really good potato chips. Nice spacious room. I think everything is spacious in Stockholm so far. Check out our view. We're on the 11th floor.
Cái đất nước này á, nó cũng rộng chứ nó không có phải là bé. Nhưng mà dân thì rất là ít.
And then over here into the bathroom.
Dân số có khoảng 10 triệu hơn à.
I will be needing
Nhưng mà
this
cái đời
coffee
sống của nó
maker
rất
pretty
cao.
soon, or immediately. And then bathroom.
Lợi tức nó một năm tới 52.000 đô lần. Bây giờ qua đây mà ăn uống là thế nào cũng là cái giá thế nào là cũng là cao chứ không có thấp đâu
Some
nha.
macarons, and I'm gonna try the next bag of chips. Some Swedish sour cream and onion chips.
Ở đây Stockholm tức là cái thủ đô của Thụy Điển.
Yeah. Sour cream and onion, one of the best flavors of potato chips. Yeah.
Ảnh vô khách sạn rồi giờ anh ngồi anh nghỉ đó. Ở trong khách sạn nó để bánh cho ăn.
Is this okay?
Thanks to Ying, she finally figured out how to use the coffee machine. I need that espresso. And We are really, really hungry, as I've already mentioned, so we're gonna go out to eat now.
Bây giờ chắc anh đi ra ngoài anh kiếm đồ ăn á. Anh đói rồi.
We are walking back to the metro stop Fridomsplan, and we're gonna take the metro to a restaurant. I thought for dinner tonight we would go to a restaurant called Pelican. It's a little ways away, but a couple of you recommended it for awesome Swedish food and for like classic home-style Swedish food. So I thought this would be a fantastic idea and a great first meal in Stockholm. So that's where we're heading now for dinner. We're gonna take the green line all the way to Skanstull. So we're at the metro now. We bought the access card, and the man at the information desk was really nice and friendly. He said we could just buy one of these cards for both GIệnh and I. And then we just have to go take the metro on a group access, and then we put 6 rides on the card, and I think it's 20 per person per ride, if I heard correctly. We just got off the metro at Skanstull station and now walking over to the restaurant. The weather here is amazing. It's very cool. I could almost use a jacket.
Bây giờ anh vô cái nhà hàng đó.
And Pelican Mikas. And then this is an awesomely classic heritage restaurant, and on the menu it says that they've been serving Swedish cuisine since 1733.
Cái này nó có từ hồi 1733.
Okay. This restaurant, Pelican Restaurant, they've been serving food since 1733, but they've changed a number of locations. They started off in the middle of the city, and then in the middle of the 1900s, sometime they moved to this location. This location, though, has been a restaurant since 1904, and I don't think much has changed
cái nhà hàng này thì nó đổi chỗ nên cái này hồi 1904.
To the tables and the chair that I'm sitting on. These armrests are wonderful, and then it just has a really high ceiling, and it almost has like an open hall kind of like cafeteria feel to it, but retro and authentic. I'm gonna start with a cracker. Is it buttery? Or spread a good dose of this.
Cái đó mơ đó.
That.
Để coi lát nó cho anh ăn cái gì là coi tính tiền sao đây.
Wonderful cracker. It's like grainy and starchy. The starter has arrived, and I saw it on the menu, and I just had to go for it. Steak tartare.
Cái này là thịt sống nha.
The raw minced meat, an
thịt
egg,
sống và
and
trứng sống luôn.
and then surrounded by, I don't know what this is, but diced up onions, capers, some herbs. I'm going to just sort of break that yolk. Oh, steak tartare. Oh, yes. I love it. Mix it up. Mix up that meat with the egg and the herbs. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm a huge fan of any kind of raw meat. Okay, I think that's good. I'm not even totally sure how to. Maybe I should just mix in the onions and the capers. I think I should just mix it all.
Đúng rồi.
I think so.
Trộn hết vô chứ.
I'm just gonna mix it all up.
Chứ đâu có trộn có 1-2 thứ.
I can't wait any longer.
Rồi ăn đi.
That's as good as I was expecting it to be. Oh, that beef just melts in your mouth. Oh, and then that mustard in there. That is like a piece of horseradish. I think coming from that mustard. Oh, that's beautiful. and then you got the little crispy capers and onions, and the herbs
Nó
as
trộn
well.
hành, nó trộn
Wow,
đậu, nó trộn
that is sensational.
rau thơm đồ đủ hết trong đó.
I'm loving every single bite of this. I tasted one of the little white strips on its own, and I think that is the little strips of horseradish because, yeah, it has a wonderful taste to it. And I think, so maybe it's not coming from the mustard. Maybe that taste is coming from those little white strips. It's just an extraordinary blend of delicious, though. So perfectly awesome. That was an insanely good start to this meal.
Anh ăn cạn sạch láng luôn.
So easily. I didn't even take a breath between bites. The horseradish was really nice. It did kind of go up my nose a little bit. Cleared out my nose a little bit. Probably the most well-known of all Swedish dishes are meatballs. These are huge meatballs in size, and then it comes with a gravy sauce all over it, and like covers the entire plate. And then on the side are some pickles, and then also I think those are the lingonberries. I think the only way to begin is to topple off that first meatball, or maybe I should just slice it on top and see if it holds its pyramid formation.
Thịt gì đây ạ?
Oh, we gotta get a close-up of inside, though. Oh, wow. Oh, that's like very smooth on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and dip that into the gravy and get some of those berries. Maybe
Thịt này nó có nhồi, nó có nhồi rồi nó mới mịn như vậy á, chứ không phải là thịt bằm không mà nó giò lại đâu. Nó nhồi lại giống như là cái miếng mà thịt mà để làm chả lụa vậy.
And then it's salty. The gravy is very smooth, and then I really liked it with those berries because that gives it a little bit of a contrast from the saltiness of the meatballs. Gives it a little bit of a sweet, fruity taste. That is really good. That is comforting. And that was a big bite. I had my first bite. I'll go for a little bit this time.
Để một chút cảnh ăn xong là coi nó tính bao nhiêu. Hồi nãy là hết một món rồi. Giờ ở đây món đó là 2 món. Còn cái này là khoai tây nghiền nha. Lấy khoai tây nghiền đổ vô cái nước sốt đó.
Kind of like milky and very, very smooth. I want to just taste what that gravy tastes like on its own. The gravy has a very sticky texture to it. It's almost like syrupy, and it has just a little bit of a sweetness to it, almost like burnt or roasted molasses. When I saw this on the menu, I just could not resist ordering it. This is the roasted reindeer, and I don't think I've ever had reindeer before. It is, I'm not sure what it's sitting on, some kind of a loaf-like base, and then strips of the reindeer
cái này
with
là
mushrooms.
thịt nai nha.
It looks like shaved apple on the very top. Let me taste a piece. Oh, it has a very strong meaty aroma to it. It almost smells like liver. Rub that in the sauce.
Đây là thịt nai. Vậy là anh ăn cái dĩa này nữa là 3 thứ rồi nha.
I know I say this a lot, but that is so tender. It does kind of taste like liver. It has a liver, irony flavor to it. And then it tastes very, very lean as well. There's almost no fat in it. Very, very lean, livery, and it's just slightly disintegrates in your mouth. Wow, that's awesome. Awesome. It's really good. Oh, and what is this on the bottom here? Let me try some of that. Oh, I think that's mashed potatoes, but it has a very sour taste to it. Maybe there's some cream in there. Okay, another piece of this reindeer with mushrooms this time. Oh, the tenderness of that reindeer. Oh, wow. amazing. I'm gonna add on some pepper. Oh, this is some
Anh
wonderful
bỏ
looking
thêm
pepper too.
tiêu vô.
Nice, that coarse grind. And I want to taste, what are these strips? It looks like a red apple. Oh, I'm using 2 knives.
Cái đó hình như là cái trái táo nó bào rồi.
Strips. It's very, very crisp.
Cái món này ngon á.
It's like crisper than an apple, but it has an apple taste. I think it's apple, but maybe like pickled apple.
Thịt nai là khỏi chê rồi.
It literally just starts to disintegrate in your mouth. Oh, and with that pepper. Ying and I just finished with dinner at Pelican Restaurant. I've had some Swedish dishes, or I've tasted some Swedish dishes before outside of Sweden, but this is my first trip to Sweden, and I can say that this is was my very first full Swedish meal. That was fantastic, especially the meatballs were good, but that beginning steak tartare and then that reindeer meat was awesome. But it was a great, well-rounded restaurant. It wasn't cheap, but really delicious food, and I think we're off to a fantastic start here in Stockholm. I'm going to end the video for today right now.
Sắp hết cái clip này nha các bạn. Lát chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục cái kế nha.
And also make sure you subscribe for lots more food and travel videos, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you again for watching. The texture is smooth and disintegrating on my tongue.
Bây giờ ta tiếp tục theo cái ngày hôm sau này.
In Stockholm, Sweden. We have just come downstairs to the restaurant for breakfast this morning. It's called Bjork Restaurant, and this is an amazing breakfast buffet. I especially like to go heavy on the protein and vegetables, so I got some hard-boiled eggs. Actually, they're slightly soft with the yolk. Looks perfect. Some sausages, some tomatoes and cucumbers, and then over on this side of my plate, I got what is a Swedish delicacy, and it said it was herring in mustard sauce. So I gotta try this.
Sáng cái phần này thấy có bộ ngon quá ha.
And very, very soft, and actually it's almost like fish spread. You could spread that with a knife. It's so soft and like gummy. I don't eat sausage very often, but these look delicious, especially with mustard. Yeah, it's like a breakfast sausage, and then with that spicy mustard, hard-boiled eggs.
Sáng mà ăn sáng như vậy là cũng no thấy bà luôn rồi. 2 cái trứng, rồi xúc xích với thịt này kia, trời ơi nó no thấy bà luôn á.
Vegetables as well, nice looking tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers. I also got a plate of mixed nuts. I think these are pumpkin seeds, hazelnuts, and sunflower seeds. What I've read is that Sweden is one of the highest per capita drinkers of coffee. People drink a lot of coffee, and so I don't mind this trend at all. I'm gonna sit here and drink coffee, and even at the buffet, they have takeaway cups, so you can just drink coffee throughout the day.
Xứ này nó uống cà phê cũng dữ lắm.
Up to the room. If you ever come to Courtyard, say hello to Karin.
Welcome to Sweden.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Hello, duck. Stockholm in the summer right now is absolutely beautiful. In the middle of the city, but it feels like you're in the countryside here. Just completely clear water, beautiful trees and parks. I'm squatting on the beach, literally just a couple meters from lots and lots of ducks. This is absolutely beautiful. are some people a little bit down the beach swimming. I wonder how cold the water is though. Oh,
Cái nước
it's not too
nước
cold.
trong quá ha.
It would actually be really refreshing. I could definitely swim. And it's so clear too.
Nước sạch sẽ quá.
Just being here in Stockholm for a few hours now, I've just noticed how beautiful it is. And one of the reasons that it's so beautiful, nice to meet you, is that it is a city that is made up of islands. And so Stockholm is spread out over 14 different islands. And I think I read 57 bridges that connect the islands. And so you're always surrounded by water. We're only here for 2 full days. And we are here on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Today is Saturday. And there are 2 kind of heritage food markets that I want to check out
Bữa
and
nay
eat
là
at.
ngày thứ bảy
And both
ở
of
chỗ đó
which
đó.
are closed on Sunday. So that means that we need to go to 2 food markets right now. We're on our way to the first one.
Ở cái vùng này nó có tới 57 cái cầu. Cái đất nước này nó cũng giàu sang lắm.
I thoroughly enjoyed that walk along the water's edge, and now we are passing by
Dân
the
chúng làm
Stockholm City
một
Hall,
năm một đầu
which
người
is
tới
one of the most
52.000 đô la
iconic
lận mà.
buildings and landmarks in Stockholm.
Bây giờ nó
We're just
giàu lắm.
walking past though, not gonna stop here, but just admiring the beauty of the structure and just the views of Stockholm and the water.
Thấy nó sạch sẽ ghê không? Đa số cái dân Âu Châu là nó văn minh lắm, nó
I'm gonna
sạch
try
sẽ
to
lắm.
pronounce it to my best
từ
ability, but I
lâu
think
rồi.
it's somewhere along the lines of THÜY Market. We're about to head inside to find something to eat for lunch.
Anh đi chút xíu anh chuẩn bị anh ăn trưa đó.
This is a basement food market, and there are some wonderful artisan vendors here selling everything from meat to different Swedish products, and there are also some restaurants and cafes that you can sit down and eat at. There's so many good-looking things here. It's like an entire
Đây nó bán đủ đồ hết
deli
á.
and market. There are
Đồ
wine
sống có mà
shops,
đồ
and you
chính
can buy
cũng có luôn.
coffee here. You can even buy fresh vegetables, lots of seafood and meat
Mua rau,
products.
mua hải
A
sản, mua
Swedish
thịt, mua
marketplace
gì cũng
all
có hết.
in one basement floor. And the seafood in particular looks extremely good. I think we're gonna head straight to eat some seafood. A couple of you recommended to try a
Chắc
place called
lát nữa anh ăn hải
Nylanders
sản á.
at the market, and so we are gonna. It's a takeaway. They have a lot of seafood, but they also have a couple of bar stools here where you can sit down. I think I'm gonna have to go with the cured salmon.
Vậy là anh lại đây anh
The poached salmon.
Yes.
And also
Anh
the
đặt đồ ăn,
cured
anh ăn
salmon
tại đây
with
luôn
dill.
nè.
Thank you. This is kind of a seafood bar.
Chỗ này nó
deli
có
style,
đồ
and
biển
so it's
tươi
within
tại
the
chỗ.
market, the basement market. You grab stools and you can sit down. I think a lot of people also get takeaways, so they can order all of these dishes takeaway or seafood takeaway. But it's nice to sit here, and I ordered some salmon.
Ở đây nó có bán cho mình mang đi nữa, mà mình không muốn ăn thì mình ngồi để mình ăn.
Thank you.
Nó chỉ có cái quầy nhỏ như vậy ăn thôi, chứ còn nó không có bàn ghế gì.
Toskagen.
Yes. Here is poached salmon.
All right. Thank you very much. All the food is pre-prepared. They have the different salads already, but then she really beautifully prepared them all onto the plates and served them and decorated them quite nicely as well. We're going to share everything. This one is poached salmon, and it came with some salad and some pickles, and then I think these are dill potatoes. And then the one right in the middle is toastskagen, and it's like a shrimp. There's shrimp, there's roe on top, there's some dill, and it's in kind of a creamy dressing. I'm not sure exactly. Finally, I could not miss the cured salmon. So that is just a beautiful like bouquet formation of cured salmon, and the salmon came also with a side of
Cái đó là
potatoes.
cá hồi á, cá hồi sống á.
I'm gonna reach in with my spoon. Let me put that. Oh, but that dill will make it amazing. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of reach in, grabbing some of the shrimp salad and some of that roe. Put it on top here. Oh, and a piece of dill that came with it. Let me add it. Oh no, I lost the shrimp. All right.
cái này ngon á. Món này được.
That is ridiculously good. All the shrimp are amazing, and they are coated in a really like creamy. I'm not sure if it's mayonnaise or it's like a really creamy sauce. And I love that dill touch. That gives it such a little refreshing.
Có trứng cá ở trên nữa thấy không?
Flavor. This is a stunner actually. It's so good. The shrimp are little, but they have just an amazing freshness, and you can. The
trong đó
texture
nó
also
có
of them.
tôm ở trong
They're
nữa.
a little bit chewy and not mushy at all, but just incredibly good. They're like little muscular.
Nó có tôm
Next
nhỏ
up,
nhỏ
I'm gonna
trong
try
nữa.
some of this poached salmon.
Rồi cá hồi
Some of
nữa.
that dill sauce. That is served cold, but you can taste the quality of that salmon. It just flakes apart
Ở
in
đây
your mouth.
nó bán là đồ
And
lạnh
then
chứ đồ không
I
phải
think
đồ
the
nóng
potatoes, I
nha.
got some of that sauce. It's nicely
Đồ lạnh
dill
không à?
flavored and very creamy as well. Let me taste this other potato while I'm at it. I'm not sure if that's cheese sauce or just cream sauce.
Cái đấy là khoai tây á.
Yeah, that's very creamy.
Khoai tây nó
But
sốt
not
kem.
cheesy. And again, those potatoes are really good. They have an amazing texture. And then that's just like a white creamy gravy. It is time for my bouquet of salmon. Oh, I'm not even sure if this is a single slice or how I should go about eating this. I'm gonna slice off a piece from the side here. Oh, cured salmon.
Nặng chân lên ăn. Cá hồi này mà nó không có mù tạt,
That is melting in my mouth.
nó không có mù tạt nó để cho
It's
chấm
not
ăn.
too salty. The texture is smooth and disintegrating on my tongue. Squeeze on a little bit of lemon.
Đó, nặng chân lên. Có miếng mù tạt nữa là ngon á.
Slice off a piece and get some of that dill on this bite. And some of that pepper as well. It's just an amazingly pure and delicious thing. Another thing I've loved since coming to Sweden is the pepper. The pepper is so good and it's available everywhere. And I love how they leave it on coarse grind on the pepper grinder so that you can get some wonderful pepper flavor. And I am a little bit of a pepper fanatic, or any kind of spice fanatic. So I do like to coat things heavily when it comes to pepper. And take that piece of salmon, dip it into that pepper, give it a full crust.
Bây giờ thì nó không có cái
The
mù
pepper
tạt đó thì
complements
nó
the
thế bằng
salmon
tiêu
so
đó.
well. It's a little bit spicy.
Chấm cho nhiều
and it
tiêu vô ăn
contrasts the
cho nó đỡ.
saltiness. You can really taste the difference between a good quality salmon and one that's not so good quality. This one literally just sort of melts in your mouth. And let me just demonstrate how soft the salmon is. You don't need the knife to cut it. You just literally just let your fork slice right through it. Oh, it's just... We just finished with that salmon experience at the market. It wasn't cheap,
Ăn xong
but
rồi.
that was incredibly good. And we
Chà,
are
không
now
biết nhiêu
walking on
tiền
our way to the
mà
next market.
nó bít dịch đọc không được. Hình như là 20 mấy đô, 30 mấy đô gì đó.
The next market that we're walking to is called Östermalmshallen. And this is more of a heritage traditional market in Stockholm. And unfortunately right now they are renovating the original structure. So they have set up a temporary but pretty permanent stall, which houses all of the stores and stalls in the market and restaurants. I read on the Visit Stockholm website that the original market will be completed sometime in the year 2018. So if you're watching this video then you might get to go into the real authentic market. But for now, This is the new market area. This market is quite similar to the market we were just visiting.
Cái
Lots
này
and
là
lots
cái
of
khu
meat
chợ mới nha.
vendors. You can buy fish here. You can buy fresh produce. A lot of artisan, really good quality things here. And there are also some places to sit down, some restaurants, some cafes, some more salmon. So many good things in this market as well.
This is reindeer.
Oh, reindeer.
Yeah, and this is moose or elk.
Moose or elk.
A bit bigger.
Thank you. This one is moose. Okay, this is some moose, cured moose like salami.
Cái đó là thịt nai đó nha.
It's really dark meat.
And this is Rudolph.
Rudolph reindeer. And this one is reindeer salami.
Nai á.
That one has a little more of a smoother, maybe lightly liverier taste to it.
Like it?
Yeah, very good. Can I just have a small piece of the elk?
Of course.
Maybe like 50 kroner or so?
Yeah, 51
Okay, perfect.
or 50 even.
Anh mua một miếng.
Thank you.
I didn't realize this, but there's also a Milander's, the same restaurant that we just ate at the other market, located here as well. And there's also another couple of famous seafood restaurants serving similar things to what we just ate. So I'm just walking around enjoying these cabinets of meat. Are incredibly beautiful. This moose salami would be really good to take it to the park and then eat it leisurely, but I gotta have another taste of it right now. That's a pretty
Cái này
good
là
chunk. It's very solid.
năm
Get a close-up
$6
look at that. You
đó.
can see the ratio of fat to meat and how dark of a meat it
Cái
is.
này giống như cái xúc xích nai á.
Yeah, it tastes just like salami, but with a more, like, a little bit of a stronger meat taste to it. And it's salty, it's just densely packed, but it definitely would be good with some crackers or some bread. That's a pretty small and very manageable market, but the stalls that they do have, the meat, the seafood, the produce is all really good quality, very gourmet, and I'm pretty happy with that little piece of moose sausage I bought. There is a famous hot dog stand just down the road, and I don't want to leave this neighborhood without having a hot dog there, so that's the next stop. Which one is your specialty?
Cabanos is our best seller.
Cabanos.
Most popular.
Ảnh dừng lại cái chỗ bán hot dog này, chắc ảnh mua ảnh ăn ấy.
Thank you very much. This place is a sausage specialist, and it's actually
cái này bánh mì mà lấy hot dog nó nhét ở trong á.
In a very quiet street in Stockholm, just down the road from that market, and I ordered what is their specialty, their most popular sausage, which is called cabanos, and this version comes stuffed into a baguette.
Cái này là $7 mấy á.
Kind of hollowed out, and then he grilled the sausage. He cut it in half.
Thôi
It's
cũng
actually
được
a
đi.
really long,
Cái
like
xứ này nó
foot-long
mắc
sausage.
mỏ
He
dữ
cut it
lắm.
in half, stuffed it into
Nó bán
the
vậy cũng
pocket
được rồi.
of baguette, and grilled the baguette. And then I think it's sauerkraut
Cái
stuffed
bánh mì
inside
coi
of
ngon
there.
quá,
And
cái
then
bánh mì coi giòn
I
ghê
was
không?
thinking there's some ketchup and mustard. I think that's, I don't know what kind of sauce that is, but this is the
Cái vỏ bánh mì
specialty
ngon á.
sauce to go with it. And it is hot and pretty solid.
Coi ảnh cắn nó giòn ghê gớm chưa? Bánh mì á. Bánh mì quá ngon.
Oh, wow. That is everything you want in a sausage. I'm actually like blown away how good that is. The bread is nice and crispy. And then the sausage, it is
Anh nói
kind of
là
like a spicy
cái
sausage.
bánh mì nó giòn quá
And
đi.
then there's the sauerkraut,
Rồi,
which is
đồ chua
a
ở bên
little bit
trong.
crispy and then a little bit sour. And then that mustard on top is kind of sweet, but that contrasts the whole salty sausage.
Bánh mì nó giòn coi kìa. Quá trời ngon.
That's a seriously good sausage. And the bread, I was thinking the bread was going to be more kind of heavy, but it's actually really light and just completely crusty. Another thing I like is that the baguette is not cut, it's just hollowed out, so you don't run the risk of anything falling out. And I think even on the, let me pull it out. Oh yeah, you see, even on the bottom, there's no holes in this baguette except at the top where it was stuffed from. so there's no risk in losing anything.
Cái bánh mì này á, làm như là nó moi cái ruột ra cho có cái lỗ đặng nó bỏ 3 cái đầu vô trong. Nó không có xẻ cái bánh mì ra.
Sausage container experience. From here we're going to take the metro
thành ra bỏ vô đó là nó không có rớt đi đâu được hết trơn á.
of Stockholm, and we're going to walk around that area for a while next.
Anh đi cái xe đó mất hết 2 đồng mấy á.
We just got off the metro at Gamla Stan station, and this is the old area of Stockholm that dates back to the 13th century. It is beautiful with its cobblestone streets.
Cái này là hồi cái thế kỷ thứ 13 nha.
Some iconic
Nó đã xây mấy cái này rồi đấy.
traditional heritage buildings. There are lots and lots of restaurants and cafes, churches within this area, and it's a very nice place just to walk around and leisurely stroll. What's really nice is that the roads in this area are blocked off to traffic, so they are all just walking streets, and we are approaching a church. The first place that we've stumbled into is the old German church, so we're going to just take a quick look inside.
Rồi anh đi vô trong cái nhà thờ này, ảnh tham quan nè.
I'm sitting down in one of the pews within the church now.
Cái kiến trúc đẹp quá.
About this church are the stained glass windows. Look at that. It's so colorful and so detailed.
Mấy cái xứ này cái kiến trúc nó cổ kính dữ lắm.
Made it to one of the most iconic, scenic, and the oldest public squares in Gamla Stan. This was the historic center of Stockholm, and what I love so much is all of these old buildings and the way they are just contrasting the really blue sky. The sky is so blue, and then the buildings are brown and red and orange in color to just contrast that intense blue.
Cái nước này cho bà con hứng uống luôn á.
That's some amazing water. Straight well water. That's way better than the bottled water. I was just reading about that well where
cái nước này hình như là nước suối hay là nước giếng gì đâu á.
But then it dried up. Now it is public water that's coming through, but they had me fooled. That's some really good water. It's fresh, and that being said, the water from the tap in Sweden is it tastes good and it's very fresh.
Ở đây là cái chỗ cái dinh thự gì đó nên có mấy ông lính mấy ông đi đó.
We caught a little bit of the changing of the guards at the Royal Palace.
Cái cung điện của hoàng gia. Cái là cung điện của vua đó. Thành ra nên có mấy ông lính mấy ông bồng súng mấy ông đi tới đi lui á.
That was very pleasant to walk around the old streets of Stockholm. We're now crossing a bridge to the next island, and there's a food truck that I'm really looking forward to eating at. When I asked you all where to eat in Stockholm, this was one of the #1 recommendations, so I am happy to be here.
Anh đi tới chỗ này để anh ăn nè.
Within a plaza, and they specialize in strumming, which is a type of fermented sea herring. And then I ordered. They have a number of different plates that include the herring.
Ở đây là món cá nha.
Full plate with mashed potatoes, but I decided to get the snack version, and so I got one with dark rye bread, and then he put on 2 pieces of the fried herring, and then topped it with some mustard, and then topped it with some onions and some dill. Strumming is a type of Baltic sea herring, and it is a very common specialty in Swedish cuisine.
Cái giá nó bị cái ấy nó che, coi đọc không được.
Deep fried. And then it topped it with some mustard and then some onions and some dill. I think the correct way to do this is with a knife and fork. I'm gonna dig in. And then there's rye bread on the bottom. Oh, onions are missing. I need some onions on this bite.
Cái này là cái loại bánh mì đen nha.
Oh, and I got the whole piece of dill.
Thấy có vẻ cũng ngon.
I just met up with Otto, who is from Stockholm. Nice to meet you. So good to see you in
So many
person.
years.
Yes.
Finally. So it's
Oh, so
see,
this
if
one
you-
is not fermented.
No, it's not fermented. It's just
Oh, so
normal. If you
It's
taste
it would be fresh.
more fresh, yeah. If you
Oh,
try
okay.
the surströmming,
Okay, so then it's just strömming.
strömming,
Okay.
just regular
And
strömming.
it doesn't even really have a fishy taste. It's actually very neutral tasting, but the texture is really good. It's nice and soft. It almost has a spreadable texture. And then because it's been deep fried, it has a little bit of a crispy texture and edge around the crust around it. And then also it's like a sweet mustard on top. Really good with the pickled onions and just that little bit of
trên
dill
là
to give it a
hành
nice touch as
hành
well.
tây á, nó
And then
ngâm
also
giấm
the
á.
bread just kind of makes the base of it. Let me take one more bite and making sure to get some of those onions. And we had a little bit of a chat, but they also have a fermented version of the herring, but this one is more of the fresh version, and so that's why it has actually very a neutral taste as opposed to the fermented version, which I'm sure has a more of a my bread just fell out, which has more of a I'm sure it has more of a ripened, strong flavor to it. Yeah, it's so good. The fish is just so soft, and then complemented by that sweet mustard and those pickled onions. We are now
Cái này
walking
là
over to
cá.
a street that is, I think it's famous for shopping in Stockholm. Götgatan.
Yeah, it's like soy, like street.
Oh, okay.
When are we recording?
We are on. You guys can say whatever you want on the video.
All right. This is Otto and Victor here
Yeah.
from Stockholm, Sweden. I've been traveling the world to meet Mark Wiens.
It was the coolest experience ever.
And when I saw Mark Wiens would come to my hometown, I cried of happiness to meet Mr. Tender.
Anh này
in
anh
our
biết
hometown.
mặt của cái anh
It's a
Mark
dream
Wiens á.
come true. Thank you
Tại
so
vì
much
anh
for
coi
coming. So much.
Yes.
Last handshake of the day.
Nice to meet you.
anh coi YouTube á nên anh thấy mặt anh này quen nên anh mừng.
We are back at the metro station and we are going back home to Freedomsplan.
Bây giờ anh lên xe chắc anh đi về nhà đó.
We made it back to Freedomsplan. We are going to walk back now to our hotel. But on the way back to our hotel, we can see across the intersection some fruit stalls.
Yeah.
You want? Okay.
Anh
อันเดียว40 2 อัน 60 เอา 10
We ended up buying 2 boxes of strawberries right as they were closing. And these are the last 2
7
boxes.
đồng mà
And I think
hai
right now
bịch á.
during summer is strawberry season in Sweden. So the strawberries should be nice and fresh and ripe and sweet. I
sắp
will
hết
test
rồi
them
nha
as soon
các
as we
bạn.
get back to our room.
Rồi anh trở về tới cái phòng ngủ của ảnh rồi đó. Sắp hết rồi là chắc có lẽ
That's so
chúng ta
juicy and
sẽ
so sweet.
sắp
This is my
phải
very first trip to Sweden, and today has been my first
tạm
full
biệt ở đây.
day in Stockholm. And today has been just
Rồi,
absolutely beautiful weather.
có gì ta
And I know
sẽ
the winter can be
tiếp tục
extremely
ở
harsh
cái
in
clip
Stockholm
du lịch
in the
kế
winter
nha.
time. But this time in the summer is so beautiful. I'm going to end the video for today now. Thank you all very much for watching. Please remember to
Thôi,
give this
xin chào
video a
các
thumbs
bạn.
up. And
Dạ,
also
bye bye.
make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you again for watching.